Hey, I'm Bob. I've been totally blind since birth, and I'm into Power Rangers. Going to be forming the original Power Blaster today. And we'll have Jason holding it. Last year, when I was doing a tribute video along with the Yellow Ranger review, we had Trini holding it, but today we're going to have Jason holding it. So take the power axe like this. We slide the base forward like that. So that's all you have to do there. Here is the power bow, of course. Comes with a number of pink rangers, and our power bow slides in to the end of the axe, little mechanism there. It doesn't sit in there very well at all, so I'm going to have a bit of a time keeping the bow sitting on the end of the axe, but we'll see what we can do. Here are the power daggers. They form the outer barrels of the Power Blaster assembly. So this is probably going to fall right off of the axe because that's just the way it goes with this weapon. I wish there was a locking mechanism that would keep this firmly attached to the axe. Okay. Let's see, do we need to move these barrels forward just a little bit? Yeah, like that. Okay. Coming right along. This is only my second take, so I wonder if I'll be publishing this one. We'll see. Okay, so here are the power lances. Of course, the lance can split into two. Okay, yeah, let's see what we got here. All right, we're gonna take our lances, make them the inner barrels. That's one. This thing's probably gonna fall off. It has before, and I can't get Jason to hold the weapon. All right. Yeah, wants to come right off of the axe here. The power bow does. Not a way to keep that on there. Now we're gonna take our power sword, lock it on top. Sometimes that tends to help matters if you lock the sword on top of the axe, but not by much. Not by much. It pegged into, or the power bow in the 90s anyway, pegged into a little hole on the end of the axe, and it sat firmly on the end of the axe. But yeah, once you get it together like that, it doesn't tend to flop around or anything. Like I said, it's a bit of a precarious fit there, but it's all right. Now we're going to take a Red Ranger. He's not really able to hold the weapon very well without it coming to pieces on him. At least I've had problems getting Jace to wield the weapon. That's probably just me though. So here is Jason. What we can do is we can just kind of hold it there like that. Because I really don't want to get this into his hand and have it fall right out. So there's, it's kind of in his hand. Maybe I could play with it for a minute. I'm gonna put him in my lap here for a sec. See if I can't get this axe to go into his hand. All right, there we go. Let's see how long this stays in his hand. Most of the time, I can't get him to cooperate because the weapon tends to fall apart on me. But I think I've got that sword locked into place a bit better. So there is Jason with the Power Blaster from the side like that. It's actually doing very well today. I tend to wonder if I'm the one who's making this stuff fall apart, although I really tried to get it sitting on the end of the power axe, the power bow, and everything else as well as I can. If we ever get updated Power Rangers or maybe an accessory set with power weapons and things, it might behoove Hasbro to make some kind of locking mechanism there on the end of the power axe, so that bow can sit a bit more firmly in there. I mean, it's still an okay fit. I think if you're able to lock the power sword into place there, you really don't have that many problems. So one last thing I wanted to do here. We didn't see this on screen, but I thought maybe we could have a look at it. I'm going to pause this real quick. Okay, let's see how we did. I've got my armored Red Ranger instead of our regular run-of-the-mill Jason. So I have him holding a power blaster there in his left hand. If I can get him centered. I don't want to hold him up too high because he's a larger figure. So he's got the power blaster in his left hand. And since he is wearing Tommy's shield, I went ahead and had him holding the dragon dagger in his right hand. So he is ready to go to town on a monster. Like that. Let me see if I can... I guess you couldn't. I wish there was a way to attach the dragon dagger to Kimberly's power bow. We did see the power bow fire the dragon dagger as a projectile in one of the season 2 episodes, Song of Guitardo, which was always an interesting finishing move there. You probably can attach it. Might be able to fit into one of those little connector ports there. So yeah, there's Jason with the power blaster as armored Red Ranger. Yeah, I know we never saw it on screen, but I, for one, like the look of him with the Green Ranger shield and the power blaster and the dragon dagger. There we go. See if I can't keep him. Oh, that power bow about ready to fall off. It's kind of wiggling, isn't it? There we go. Yeah, it doesn't really want to stay still. I know the sword is supposed to keep it locked into place. Okay. Raise him and lower him a couple more times. Show the dragon dagger again he's got. Like I said, I am really glad we have a combinable power blaster. It's something that I was hoping for with the original team, but it's tough to keep that bow together. Just kind of sits on the end of the axe, and but I mean, if you don't move it around too much, which I don't, it probably won't fall apart on you. The only time it wants to fall apart on me is when I'm trying to stick it in Jason's hand. Thanks for Corey letting me know that he holds the weapon in his left hand. So that's why I've got it in his left. When I was a kid, I used to put it in his right hand in the 90s. And didn't know that all of the Rangers were kind of touching different parts of the blaster as well back then. So Corey let me know that. And I think I read about that online several years ago at some point, but I really didn't devote that part to memory. But it does make sense that all of them would be touching the weapon. So yeah, really cool design for the original Power Blaster. So if anybody knows how to keep this thing together, you know, let me know in the comment section. I've got that axe slid just about as far as it can go. And it's a really great design, and I'm glad it stays together. I'm just a bit concerned about that bow falling apart or falling off of the axe, but it hasn't this time. I'm actually surprised. The sword really does make a great locking mechanism for the weapon. Well, I guess since we have Jason as our armored Red Ranger, could just grab a power sword. I've done this thing before where he has both weapons ready to deliver a finishing slash. Well, let's have him holding this up like this and the sword up like this. Just kind of got him ready to deliver a finishing slash there. We did see him do this with the Cardiatron, and then he did it against the Poluticorn, that double slash with the dagger and the sword. So if I ever pose him, I just kind of do like that. You really can't raise his arms any higher because the shield doesn't really want to have him raise his arms, but usually I just have him holding up both weapons like that whenever I'm messing around with Armored Red Ranger here. So yeah, can't help but have him hold the power sword and the dragon dagger when he's in that armored form there. So yeah, that'll do for this Power Rangers video. Hopefully it came out well, and I'll hear you guys in the next one. May the power protect you. 10 out of 10 for the Power Blaster assembly. I love that weapon. And I'll hear you guys next time.